Hello guys, and welcome back to another Mortal Kombat 11 video. And today I just want to give a bit of tips and tricks if you are starting off the game, and just some general inputs that you should probably know, as well as settings. So the very first thing I'm going to talk about is settings. If you go into your settings and go to controls, you can go down and see all of your button inputs, aka your front punches, back punches, front kicks, back kicks, throws, block, interact, flip, stance. So it's really helpful. Next, I want to talk about these settings right here. So I'd put your input window timing into medium. I do this because you're allowed to do your basic combos really easily while just hitting your buttons. But let's say the opponent breaks away, you're not just randomly swinging, because if you did, obviously you're very vulnerable. And so you want to have it in medium. Like, you don't want to have it in long, or else you're going to be doing things that you messed up on. And you don't want to have it low because of when you're starting off, it would be very hard to do those combos. Crushing blow to held check. So this one's optional, but I'd say you turn it off just due to the fact that when you're starting a new character or starting off the game in general, you don't know much crushing blows. So you won't know when to activate them. But when you do get more skilled in the game, you can go ahead and put this on just so you can use your crushing blows when you want to use them. Release check, I just have it off. I mean, there's no point of having this. Just have it off. Alternative controls, I would not have this. I'd have this off as well. Input shortcuts. So I would have this one on just due to the fact that your special moves are going to be a lot with what you're using, and having the ability to kind of mess up on the buttons is helpful. Next, button shortcuts. Have this off. Trust me, it will be automatically on. You want to turn this off. AKA, XY will now interact, and throws will be XA. You want to turn that off because if you're mashing going for a certain combo, you will accidentally jump off and throw yourself across the map, or accidentally go for a grab, which will then leave you super vulnerable. So I honestly just have that off. All right. So next, I want to talk a bit about button inputs such as breakaways, rolls, and get up attacks. If you don't know what that is, that's completely fine. I didn't even realize what these things were until I began seeing everybody using them, and I wondered exactly what it was. So I just want to give a brief explanation of exactly what a breakaway is, and a get up attack, etc., get up roll. So I'll show exactly what it is in the demonstration, but basically a breakaway attack is basically if you're getting hit up into the air and you want to break out of the combo, you can simply just get out of the combo. However, it will take up both your defensive meters. So I'm going to go ahead and select my main character, Sindel, and I'm going to pick Sonya because she is really good at launching your opponent, as well as, just launching, you know what I mean? And Sindel also has really good, easy launchers. So, yeah, I kind of want to showcase exactly what these look like, what buttons you need to press in order to perform them, and what exactly they do. And obviously, having a visual representation is obviously just better than just me telling you exactly what they are. All right, so the very first thing I want to talk about is the breakaway move. So this one's pretty simple. If you get launched up in the air, or you're getting hit in the air, and you no longer want to be hit in that combo, and you have 2 defensive meters, you can simply break away just like you saw now. So as you can see there, I went to go do a combo, but since they broke out of it, I can't really go for the combo anymore. You can also, if they get like some type of crushing blow on you or anything like that, which I'm going to go ahead and enable now, and I get this crushing blow, and you're like, oh crap, they can get good damage. She didn't break away right there. Here, let me redo that there. No. And then they break away, I can no longer do major damage. All right, so there's really 2 things you need to watch out when you're breaking away. First is to make sure that you have 2 bars of defensive meter, or you will not be able to do it. Next is something called an armor break move, which I'll talk about a little later in the video. And that gives the opponent to break your armor, and when you have armor, that's basically when you're performing a fatal blow, or when you're breaking away. Each character has an armor break move. All right, and if you're wondering the button input to break away, it's simply hitting your right trigger and hitting down while you're up in the air. All right, so next I want to talk about get up rolls. So you can either do 1 or 2 things. That's the forward get up roll and backward get up roll. So the get up roll input you need to do is your left trigger and forward or backwards. So each forward and backwards each have their own unique ways that you should probably use them. If you're in a corner and you do a forward roll, you get out of your corner. However, if you're in the corner and you do a back roll, you're still in the corner. So you really just gotta, it's all situational. But yeah, so basically what they do is if you're knocked down and you do a roll, you can either be like right in front of your opponent's face, you can get backwards. However, I want to show you what a backwards roll does. Actually, this is a forward roll. And I'm close to them, and I go to do a strike, as you just saw. You can just block it, right? So let me hit Sonya down here. I go for an attack, she blocks it, right? So yeah, pretty simple. Knock him down, go to do an attack. He completely blocks it, all right? Obviously, she didn't block that, but you know what I mean? They're just easy ways to get up, and your opponent won't expect it, at least most of the time, right? All right, next are called get up attacks. So you can perform get up attacks by hitting up when you're on the ground, up Y or up A, depending on what character you use. As you can see here, mine is up A and up Y, right? So yeah, they're simply, for Sonya, it's her backup flip. So basically what they do, if you get hit to the ground, you're able to get up and hit opponent with your attack, and you can presumably get a combo off of it. However, it's really just a way to get an opponent out of your face if they're applying a lot of pressure, right? All right, next I want to talk about armor break. So this is a really easy way. If your opponent's breaking away or performing a fatal blow, you can easily break them out of it. So mine is called main squeeze. So every character is different. Mine is pretty simple. I just throw my hair at them and I can grab them. As you saw up in the left-hand corner, it came up as an armor break move, and you want to make sure you do that. You can basically, if you want to know, you can go to your special moves or combos or basic attacks, and you can find out exactly what your armor break with that little icon you see right here that says armor break. So this also works against fatal blows, which I'll show you now.
Like the hair.
All right, so next I want to talk about AI, custom abilities, and augments. And I'll describe exactly what each of them are. So if you go to your customize section and go to your characters, you can look at every single one of your characters and all the gear you have equipped for them. All right, so if you select your character and you hit your right bumper 3 times, you can go over something called AI behavior. And this dictates how your character acts. I have a lot of videos showcasing what characters use what AI behavior, so make sure to go check those videos out if you're interested in. But AI behavior can be used in AI battle, Towers of Time, and ranked AI matches. Also, classic towers. So if you go to Towers of Time, right, and you decide, oh, you know what, I don't want to play, or maybe you're not skilled enough to play. That's right, I've been there too. Or, you have homework to do, but you want to get a few things at the same time. If you go over to a tower, right, and it's not on brutal difficulty, you can't have AI on brutal difficulty. But if you hit it and you go to your character that you want to, and once you select them, there'll be this little option to hit AI fighter, which is simply X, or if you play on PlayStation, square, right? So you hit that button and your AI fighter will play as you. And they are actually quite good. And once again, though, the AI attributes really do depend on how well they play. If they're a zoning character, add more zoning. If they're an aggressive character like Sindel, add a lot of aggressive players. So next, I want to talk about gear and augments. So when you have a piece of gear, you have this little thing where it shows rank, like what level it is. So you want to level your stuff up so you can equip augments. And what augments do is they increase your damage, increase your health, or give you unique abilities depending on what character you are using. Not only that, but they can also give you health back. Or these extremely unique perks, which can give you like certain abilities that you're able to do. For instance, it turns all your poison damage into physical damage. You have your offensive gauge or half, however, you have no defensive gauge. It makes your crushing blows super easy to use without requirements, able to flawless block all your damage. All this insanely crazy augments that you're able to utilize inside of Towers of Time. It doesn't work online, but it does work in Towers of Time. As you can see here, these are the augments I currently have equipped for my Sindel, which Sindel is my main, and which she can do 1,500 damage in 4 hits. So, yeah, make sure to level up those pieces of gear. You can level up your pieces of gear by playing with them. All right, next, I want to talk about abilities. So when you're playing offline, you're able to customize the abilities that you want. And so I use my preferred abilities, which is Whip and Flip, Maleficent March, and Air Bailing Banshee. However, if you don't like these moves, don't use them. You're able to simply deselect one, right? Which I'll deselect one here and equip a different one. All right, as long as it doesn't conflict with another one. So yeah, you can pick anything you want as long as you like it, right? Or you know what I mean? So yeah. So there's custom abilities, augments, and AIs, which can all be utilized to destroy your opponents in Towers of Time, and sometimes in one hit.